You read rooms before you read books. Your nervous system knew which doors to close quietly, which footsteps meant leave him alone, which version of mom was walking through the door tonight. Everyone called you mature for your age. What they actually meant was you never got to be a kid. You weren't gifted. You were on duty. And there's one thing about this that most people never connect to the rest of their adult life. I'll get to it in a minute. Here's what it looks like now. You walk into any room and you already know the temperature, whose shoulders are up, who's annoyed but pretending not to be. You don't know what you want for dinner. You've spent your whole life asking, what does everyone else want? You feel weirdly guilty when someone near you is in a bad mood, like their feelings are your problem to solve. And the quiet alertness you carry, even in completely safe rooms, never turns off. Researchers call this parentification, when a child becomes the emotional caretaker of an adult. Lindsay Gibson has written extensively about what happens to kids in these roles. But the real story isn't in the label, it's in your nervous system. Most kids develop interoception, the ability to feel their own body from the inside. Hunger, tiredness, sadness. You developed something different. Your brain spent its early years wiring itself to track other people's feelings with terrifying accuracy. The technical word is neuroception. Your body reading safety and danger in someone else's face, voice, footsteps. Because in your house, that's what kept you safe. If you could read mom's mood, you could predict the night. If you could soothe dad, you could buy yourself peace. What the world calls empathy, your body calls surveillance. The scanner never turned off. You still date people who need fixing. You still feel responsible for other people's moods. You still apologize when someone else is having a bad day. You still flinch when a partner goes quiet, already running through the inventory of what you might have done wrong. And the deepest one, the one nobody warns you about, you still don't know the sound of your own hunger. You learned everyone else's signals before you ever learned your own. That's not a character flaw. That's a curriculum you were handed before you could read. Your body learned this. It can learn something else. 3 small things starting today. First, catch the scan. When you notice yourself tracking someone else's mood, name it out loud. I'm monitoring them again. That one sentence interrupts 30 years of reflex. Second, ask yourself a question you weren't allowed to ask as a kid. What do I need right now? Even if the answer is I don't know, keep asking daily. Third, let someone else's bad mood stay theirs. Don't rush to fix it. Sit in how wrong that feels. That's the new wiring being built. You weren't mature for your age. You were a child doing a job nobody should have given you. And the reason you still do it now, the reason you're so tired you can't even name it, is simple. Nobody ever told you the shift was over. That exhaustion you can't explain, it's decades of listening for a door that hasn't slammed in years. You're allowed to put the clipboard down. The adults you were watching for aren't in the room anymore. What was the first thing you remember tracking in your childhood house? A mood, a tone, a set of footsteps? Tell us below. Subscribe to Psychology Gently. We translate what your body already knows into language your mind can finally use.